In the pre-dawn quiet of 2011, as the Nevada desert lay cloaked in shadow, the United States initiated one of the most clandestine military operations in modern history. It was an operation so secret that even high-ranking officials in the Pentagon knew it only by its code name, Operation Silent Falcon. This was no ordinary mission. There would be no boots on the ground, no roaring helicopters, no convoys of armored vehicles. The plan involved a single aircraft, a lone pilot, and a target so heavily fortified it was considered unreachable. It was a ghost mission, designed to be over before the world even knew it had begun. The objective was a rogue scientist, a brilliant but dangerous mind hidden deep within Eastern Europe. This individual had developed a device with catastrophic potential, a weapon capable of disabling entire power grids across continents in the blink of an eye. The consequences were unimaginable: cities plunged into darkness, economies crippled, and societies thrown into chaos. But the scientist himself wasn't the primary challenge. The real problem was his fortress. He operated from a bunker buried 300 feet beneath solid, reinforced rock. This subterranean lair was a masterpiece of defense, shielded by a network of advanced Russian-made air defense systems and guarded by a private army of ruthless mercenaries. Every satellite image, every intelligence report, every expert analysis came to the same conclusion: the bunker was impenetrable. It was a black hole on the map, a place from which no signal escaped and into which no one could get. The mission seemed impossible from the start. No way in, the files read. But in the world of covert operations, impossible is just a problem waiting for a radical solution. And someone found one. The plan that emerged was audacious, bordering on suicidal. It called for a single F-2 Raptor, the most advanced stealth fighter jet in America's arsenal. This particular aircraft would be stripped of all markings, all identification, making it a true ghost in the sky. It would be armed with a weapon that, officially, did not exist. It was a prototype, a piece of technology so classified it was spoken of only in whispers, a micro-EMP warhead. Unlike its larger counterparts, this device was designed for surgical precision. It could overload and fry all electronics within a tight 20-meter radius, leaving everything else untouched. The pilot's task was deceptively simple on paper, but monumental in practice. He would have to fly his unmarked Raptor into the most heavily defended airspace in Eastern Europe, a digital fortress of overlapping radar systems. He had to remain completely invisible, a phantom moving through a web of electronic eyes. He needed to locate a bunker that was invisible from the surface, guided only by hyper-precise satellite coordinates. And then came the hardest part. He had to fire the micro-EMP at the exact moment the bunker's entrance opened. Intelligence suggested the massive blast doors would open for a mere 6 seconds at a time to allow vehicles in or out. If the pilot was off by even 2 seconds, the warhead would detonate harmlessly against solid rock, and the mission would fail. If he was detected at any point, he would be shot down long before he ever reached the target zone. There was no backup, there was no rescue. Failure meant oblivion. The pilot chosen for this incredible task was Captain Ryan Hale. At 2:16 hours, under the cover of total darkness, his F-22 lifted off from a secret airstrip. On every radar screen across the continent that was meant to be tracking him, there was nothing but empty sky. The Raptor's stealth technology was performing flawlessly. Hale pushed his aircraft to an altitude of 65,000 feet, soaring through the frozen thin air where the sky turns from blue to black. He was a ghost, guided only by a calm, encrypted voice in his headset. Falcon 1 maintained silence. The world below slept, unaware of the silent hunter passing overhead. Hours later, he reached the target area. The landscape below was a dark, featureless canvas. He circled, his eyes locked on his instruments, his heart pounding a steady rhythm against his ribs. And then, he got the signal. A ground team, hidden miles away, confirmed movement. A convoy was approaching the bunker. This was it, the moment of truth. Down below, the massive, concealed doors began to grind open. 6 seconds. That was his entire window. Ryan Hale pushed the stick forward, sending the F-22 into a terrifyingly steep dive. He was a shadow falling from the heavens, a blade of darkness slicing through the night. The aircraft plummeted, accelerating rapidly, the ground rushing up to meet him. 5 seconds. The convoy started to enter. 4 seconds. His targeting system locked on. 3 seconds. The digital display blinked, confirming the firing solution. 2 seconds. He was perfectly aligned. 1 second. With exactly 0.4 seconds to spare before the heavy doors began to close, Captain Hale released the payload. There was no explosion, no fiery blast, just a silent, invisible pulse of energy. The micro-EMP detonated perfectly at the bunker's entrance. In an instant, every light inside went out. Every computer screen went black. Every weapon system, every communication device, every electronic lock, all of it was fried. The entire bunker was plunged into a state of primitive darkness and silence. The impenetrable fortress had been neutralized without a single shot being fired in the traditional sense. Its technological heart had been stopped. With the bunker's defenses completely crippled, the path was clear. The covert ground team, which had been waiting patiently in the shadows, moved in swiftly. They met no resistance. The mercenaries inside, disoriented and stripped of their high-tech gear, were easily subdued. The rogue scientist was captured before he could even comprehend what had happened. No alarm was ever raised to the outside world. No enemy aircraft was scrambled. No radar system registered an intrusion. For all anyone knew, the bunker had simply suffered a catastrophic power failure. The mission was over before the sun began to rise. Captain Hale pulled his F-22 out of its dive, banking hard and climbing back into the safety of the upper atmosphere. He flew the long journey home, once again a ghost in the sky, leaving no trace of his passage. The world remained stable, completely unaware of the disaster that had just been averted. America never confirmed Operation Silent Falcon. You won't find it in any official records. There are no declassified documents, no press releases, and certainly no medals for the pilot who flew into the jaws of death. The only evidence that it ever happened exists as a single, cryptic line in an unmarked file buried deep within a secure government server. It reads simply, "Target neutralized. World stable. A quiet testament to a silent victory, won by a phantom in the night." Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy stories about these incredible little-known operations, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Let us know in the comments what kind of secret mission you'd like to hear about next. We'll see you in the next one.